Enough walking for today. We set up camp here. In case you boneheads have forgotten, the world is broken. Very broken. The dead walk the earth, and what remains of...
Yep, skip that trash cutscene. You spawn in at a factory. You see an M14 in Olympia, but then you look above you, then you see an LSAT. You don't think much of it because it probably costs a lot and you can't get up there, is your first thought. So you walk around for a little bit, kill some zombies while you're at it, but then you jump in a hole. Now, where this hole leads, you have no idea. But then you figure out that it leads to an old town. A town that used to be in the Old West. And that town is buried. First thing you see when you drop down is Quick Revive and a wall buy for Remington. You go over, see how much the Remington costs, but instead of seeing a point list, you said grab chalk. So you go over to a question mark, see what that does, and it says draw chalk. You draw it, and you have a wall buy. Now it's time for
Dragons!
Arthur, or more commonly called Leroy, is a giant that basically is your companion through the whole game, unless you shoot him. Then he runs back into his cell, locks the door, and you have to go on a scavenger hunt to find the key. The way you use Leroy is you find booze, give him booze, well, you aim the booze, and then he drinks the booze, and then he does that. He runs into the barriers and breaks them, and it gives you like 560 points, depending on the barrier, and I think distance. I'd have to check. Leroy is useful for a lot of things. If you give him candy, he can nail down the box so you never get a teddy bear. He can build any buildable for you. Just give him candy near a workbench. And if you give him candy near a crawler and you're trying to do the Easter egg, which I'll never do because I don't have friends, you just give him candy near the crawler. He picks up the crawler and takes care of him for the rest of his life like a newborn infant. Enough about Leroy. Let's talk about Bury, the map itself. First of all, it's easy as pie. You know, you can do anything on round one if you have the bank loaded with money, and you don't even need the bank, really. You just need Leroy and the booze, really. You know, kill a few zombies, um, you know, build a couple barriers, and you're loaded to get Jug all on round one or two. It's an easy map. You get points for everything, breaking barriers, drawing guns on the wall. It's really easy. I mean, one of the best weapons is in the starting room, the LSAT. It is a 100-round SMG, LMG that is great unpack a punch till round 20. You know, it's you can get it by round 2. Okay, you have to have quickness to get it, of course, but it's really easy to get. You know, a little bit of practice, and boom, you have a reliable weapon for camping, training, right in your hands on round 2. 2. And that's why people don't like Buried. They find it too easy and here you go, take everything you need on the first round. Take Jug. You'll be fine. Take a paralyzer. And actually, about the paralyzer, I couldn't get it in this game, but it's OP as balls with Vulture Aid. Vulture Aid is really important because if you want to camp on top of the bank, you're gonna need that, or you're gonna get overrun really quickly. Because Vulture Aid has a gas that when you kill a certain zombie, you can stand in that gas, and the zombies are detracted from you. And it's really OP with Vulture Aid. Even without Vulture Aid, you could just camp by Chug with a head chopper. And Vulture Aid is still useful there because you might get overrun. But when you have a Paralyzer and a Mark II, easy round 100. Like it's a really easy map. If you're just looking for a nice, collected, calm game of zombies, play Buried. Don't play Nuketown, you buffoon. And I almost forgot. The Mark II. The superior version of the ray gun. The ray gun Mark II is a blessing waiting to happen for the ray gun. It's 3-round burst, which kind of sucks. But it doesn't just stop at one zombie. No, it goes through all of them. It doesn't stop until it hits a wall or it misses. You know, it's great. You know, it's not like the Mark 1 where it has a bunch of splash damage and it's completely useless without PhD. This one, you don't need PhD. You just need Pack-a-Punch to get at its full potential. You know, it's so good, and it wasn't just on Buried. When you buy Buried, it gets put on every map. That includes Transit, Town, Farm, Bus Depot, and Nuketown, Mob of the Dead, and Die, Rise, and Origins. Is that all the maps? Yeah, that's all of them. Mind you, this whole time I've been talking, I've been on round 1 or 2. I've been talking for like 8 minutes. But just because Buried is easy and there's an OP wonder weapon with an OP perk, doesn't make it a bad map. It makes it an easy, maybe a little bit too easy, but it's still a good map if you just want a cool, calm, collected game of zombies. But all that cool, calm, and collectedness is all washed away when you enter the Witch's Hut.
I give you this. You'll help us out, right? Hey, you broke some shit. Way to go, fella.
Your first time entering, you don't know what to expect. You don't know what's going to happen. And then the witch appears out of nowhere. And if she hits you, all your points gone. So you have to make your way through this maze of a mansion, shooting down witches and ghosts as you're just trying to make it through. And then when you have to reload, one spawns and you're rushing to get out. When you get out, you think you're safe, but no, they're still chasing you. Coming to take your points. So always be aware when you're walking through the witch's hut. Don't let your guard down. Once you hear that, turn around or, be on the ready in front of you. But, there is a method to all this madness and malarkey. You get a free perk. It could be Voltrate, it could be Mule Kick, you don't know. You just get a free perk, which is always good. Yeah. Once you make it out of the hut, you're met with a maze. Now, where this maze leads, you don't know. You find a fountain, and then you just keep walking. You don't think much of it. Then you find a staircase, and then that leads you down to Pack-a-Punch, which is based. But this particular Pack-a-Punch spot sucks because there's a barrier in there, and it's a dead end. So, make sure you're at the end of the round, unlike this buffoon playing. Always make sure you're at the end of the round. Or get a nuke, which is, always helpful. When you're done Pack-a-Punching, you go back through the maze, kill some zombies, which trying to find your way back through the maze is a pain. There is a way to get back quicker if you blow up the fountain with grenades, but whenever I do that, I lose all my perks. Which I think it's because I down while I'm in there. Which is not based, pretty unbased. Which sucks because I hate going through mazes. I don't like mazes. As you can see, I tried to go down there. But then I was just like, nah, man. I'm going to lose Quick Revive, Jug, and Stamina. Which I'm not trying to buy that back, man. Once you make it back through the maze, you have to go through the witch's hut again, which it's shorter this time. Don't poo your pants as much, but they still will take your points. As you see, in like 30 seconds, I lose all my points because I made a dumb decision and did not. Yep, there it goes, and did not kill the last witch, which I almost blew my brains after that one because I had 1,600 points and I was gonna buy candy for Leroy.
Sniper rifle? And when I say everyone, I mean absolutely no one! Bigger isn't always better.
Your first time pulling out the Mark II. The Ray Gun Mark II, the long-desired remake of the pitiful Ray Gun Mark I, the one that kills you when you accidentally get splash damaged. Without PhD flopper, it's pretty much useless. You get trapped in a corner, you shoot a couple shots, well, you're dead. Too bad, and it's not that powerful past round 40 packets. So if you're trying to do high rounds, good luck. The only complaint I have with this weapon is its 3 round bursts, and that means you run out of ammo really quickly. And I wish there was like a button or an option to switch it. It's a single shot, but this is where this thing comes in clutch. I was screwed here. I just reload, and boom, all them dead. And it's just it's a good weapon. That's the only downside is it's 3 round burst, and it kind of drops off by round 45 to 50 unpacked, but it's good past 55, beyond packed. That's where it starts to drop off a little, but it's a good gun. It's a good wonder weapon. Good job, Buried. You did something right again. That's pretty much all I have to say about Buried. It's a good map. Just play it when you're bored if you want a casual game of zombies. And that's all I have to say. Transit tomorrow. Goodbye. It's just a camping for us from now on, which is really boring. So, see you later. Have a nice life. And do drugs.